Let's get right to some of the trading strategies we need to know. Dutch Masters, founder at Carnivore Trading, is with us. Dutch, thanks for being here. So, you have some great ideas ahead of the Fed meeting. I was looking at some pair trades or getting in on some of the tech names in an ETF way. What are you expecting to hear from the Fed, and what are you expecting the market maybe could do?
Hey, Nicole, it's a great day in America when I get to see your beautiful face. We are having a lot of fun at Carnivore Trading.
Me too. I agree about you, Dutch. Thank you.
Hey, we're having a great time over here. We were up a little over 20% in the Carnivore portfolio last month. It was the worst month for global bonds since 1920. The NASDAQ lost 13% in 1 month. 1 month. Okay, but underneath that, the indexes, 45% of stocks are down over 50%, 22% are down over 75% this year, 5% are down over 90%. I think what the market figured out was that we're heading straight into stagflation, and there's nothing worse than stagflation. So, you know, when you realize and finally realize that the Fed is about to raise rates right in the face of what looks like a global recession to us, we just don't see how it makes sense for them to be this hawkish. So what we think they're going to do is say we're going to front load this rate increase in May and June, maybe 50 bips on both months. And then after that, we think we're going to let the data tell us what to do after that. And we think that if he comes out and says that the markets are going to soar, you don't want to be short in this industry. We're looking to go long that TQQQ. Tech is holding up amazingly well today. It wants to run. It wants to go. You can just look at it. It's like a horse that's got muscles that are quivering. It wants to run. It's just looking for one little excuse to do it. And so we don't want to be short into that. We think there could be a great pairs trade here if you want, or a long short where you're short the Dow and long the Qs. But, you know, other than that, you know, I don't understand how a financial advisor can possibly say, hey, just stay invested when you're sitting there with war and inflation and a global recession and a Fed that's going to do wacky stuff. We don't operate that way. We are in and out of the market. We've been up consistently 4 months in a row in 2022 by paying attention to what's going on, but that's just our style.
Yeah, well, I mean, you should have some cheerleaders or something, because it's very, very difficult to make money in this environment. It always is difficult, but particularly in this environment, to your point of the NASDAQ with the worst month since 2008, bonds not participating. I mean, there was just nowhere to hide, so you really had to be an active money manager to even try to break even. That being said, so you have this pair trade ready to go with shorting the Dow, long on some of the, you know, the triple Qs. And by the way, Jay Powell said that. He said he wouldn't, you know, be adverse to front loading. I mean, he said it. Yeah. I heard it in that interview, and he said that, look, and I actually was wondering, like, maybe whether or not they would pile on even more than 50 basis points on this round, but it's so hard for them to do so when the inflation picture is just so high. And it's really slowing growth. I mean, I guess they have to take it, but if they take it just in the two meetings, that might be some good news there. So very interesting.
I agree with you.
I can't wait to hear. Yeah, I can't wait to hear.
I agree with you on that. And by the way, one of your previous guests said something about not having a crystal ball. I actually do have a crystal ball. I got on my motorcycle and rode all the way to Ojai, California, and I bought it from a gypsy, and it really works.
I believe it. I believe it. I mean, I had a magic 8-ball, not from a gypsy, but I think I would trust. I think I trust your crystal ball more, particularly because it comes with your experience, Dutch. Let's talk about Chico's. That's a name that you like.
Yeah. So we've done a lot of deep research on this stock, and over the last year, you know, management changed and took over this company a year ago, and they had a couple of lousy quarters, which they basically flushed what they needed to flush. And this stock is run by some of the best people in the industry, in my opinion. They really know what they're doing. They're converting a lot of their revenue to higher margin online revenue. They expect $1 billion this year in online revenue, which is a huge increase for them. I love a stock, and Carnivore loves a stock that's got, you know, a $650 million market cap, because going to $1.2 billion is not a big stretch, right? You're still a pretty small company, and these guys really have one of the best franchises in the ladies' undergarments area. Chico's obviously their flagship, but they have a line of a lingerie line called Soma. And from what I understand, not being aware of Soma myself, but talking to an awful lot of women who are, they say that, you know, not only is it great looking and all that, but it's super comfortable, which is real important to them.
Mm-hmm. And it's an affordable price point. I mean, at $5 a share, you can bite into a few shares and not break the bank. That being said, right? And the company did reaffirm its guidance and such, and it's my understanding how you like the management. It's wonderful to see you, Dutch Masters. Thank you always for coming on the show.
Nicole, can't wait to see you again, darling. All right.
Until next time, thank you, Dutch Masters of Carnivore